Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, Parshas Shemos, New World, and everything that you need to know about yourself, everything that we need to know about our people, everything that we need to know about what our future is going to look like, is really embedded in the opening lines of the Parsha. We're told that we came down to Mitzrayim, reiterated who it was that came down to Mitzrayim. 70 souls that came. Yosef was in Mitzrayim. And then the Torah tells me, Vayomas Yosef kol echa v'chol adarahu. Joseph dies, and his brothers die, and the entire generation dies. Then Bnei Yisrael par v'yishsu v'yirbu v'yatzmu b'mod mode. We proliferated, v'timali haaretz osam, and the earth was filled with them. And then there's a little break. And then the Torah tells us, V'yokem melech chodesh ha-Mitzrayim, a new king arose in Egypt. Asher lo yodas Yosef, that didn't know Yosef, changed his policies. Vayomer alamu, and he said to his nation, Hine am b'nei Yisrael rav yotzim imenu, the Jews are getting more powerful than us. We have to do something about them. They could become a fifth column. We have to have an ischak mullah. We have to deal with them in a smart way. And that was the beginning of the end. And the question that you have to address and worry is that, how did that happen? If we were part of the Yishtu v'yirbu b'moed moed, we became a mighty, proliferate nation, became this powerful group. Everywhere you turned, we were there. How do we become slaves? How were they able to subdue us and to be able to destroy us? How were they able to take us over and to tell us, you better show up to work? They didn't have any tanks. They didn't have any guns. They didn't even have German shepherds. How were they able to do that to us? So the Torah tells me, just look carefully. Vayomas Yosef v'chol echav v'chol adarahu. Because until Joseph died, when we walked around Mitzrayim, people would say to us, who are you? I'm the nephew of the king. I'm the son of the king. I'm the grandson of the king. I'm his uncle. And you felt like an epis. You felt like somebody. Then as things moved on, and Yosef died, but still his brothers were alive. That generation was alive. And we had a sense of pride, a sense of power, a sense of being. But then, after that generation was wiped out, we lost that sense of value. We lost who we were. We lost that vision of who we were. And when you lose your sense of self, you can be overrun and destroyed. Because as long as you feel that you're an epis, you're a somebody, nobody can get you to do something you don't want to do. Nobody can intimidate you into doing things and going in places that you're not comfortable with. But when you see yourself as nothing, everybody else becomes valuable and important, and whatever they tell you to do and whatever they want from you, you're willing to acquiesce. And that's why Vayokem melech chodesh ha-Mitzrayim, a new king comes up. He doesn't think about it. He doesn't know who the old Jew was. He only knows who the new Jew is. And the new Jew is a guy who doesn't have any sense of power, doesn't have any sense of his own honor and any sense of his own pride. Vayomer alamu, he says, okay, let's deal with them now. Now we can destroy them. And this has happened to us throughout our history. How were the Germans able to take us over? How were the Crusaders able to take us over? How was the Spanish Inquisition able to subdue us? Because they worked on our vulnerability. They looked at us as people that were not so proud of who we were, that didn't feel that sense of being in pride. And when you don't have that, you can destroy another person. And this is true of us as individuals also. It's how a bully exploits the weakness of the one that he's bullying. He finds those people that don't feel good about themselves. He finds those people that he can take over, because he can subdue them, because they have no sense of self and no sense of pride. But what about the bully himself? You know, when we look at Mitzrayim, we look at Egypt, we have this image. If we drew in a comic book, the way we would draw it, we would draw the Jews. There's these little nebuchy things. They have, no sense of self. But we have these Mitzrim, these starkers, these strong Egyptians who had a clear definition of who they were. They were the most powerful, mighty nation in the world. But they were also a sick bunch. They also had no sense of self. And because they had no sense of self, the only way to build themselves up was by subduing and putting other people down. And that the more they put you down, the more they felt good about themselves. They were the ultimate bullies. Because a bully is not a person who's got an overinflated sense of self. A bully is a person who has no sense of self. And therefore, the only way that he gets a feeling of being something, of being an epis, is if he can knock you down. Rabbi Saul Salanta was once watching two boys fighting, and one boy pushed the other boy in a ditch. He called over the boy afterwards and said, "What'd you push him in the ditch for?" He said, "What were you fighting about?" "We were fighting about who was taller. I pushed him in the ditch, and now I was taller." So Rabbi Saul looked at him and said, "There was a better way to do that. You could have climbed up on a chair. You can make yourself great by making yourself great. You become better than everybody else because you work on your own self and you perfect yourself. Or you can make yourself feel great by putting down everybody around you. When you don't have a strong sense of self, the only way you're going to be successful is by pushing down other people. That's what the Egyptians did to us. That's what the Germans did to us. That's what happened to us in the time of the Spanish Inquisition and in the time of the Crusades. That it wasn't coming from a place of feeling great. It was coming from a place of, if I put you down, then I'm great. It's not because I'm strong. It's not because I'm powerful, but it's because I'm better than you and you're a nothing. If only we would feel that we had a mission in life. We have a mission in life as individuals. We contribute something to this world as individuals. If only we could feel as a nation of Israel that we contribute something to this world. We are an epis. We are not everybody else's piece of garbage. We are not everybody else's little toy, but that we are something of substance. The decisions that we would make would be totally different. The lives that we would lead would be totally different. Perhaps it's what we need to be working on as individuals and as a nation, to feel that sense of pride. I'm a Yid. I have a mission. I'm the Jewish people. I have God's mission. I have a purpose. I have a tachlis. I have a toelis. I have something to accomplish and something to bring to the world. And if only I felt that sense of pride, that sense of nichbados, nobody would be able to push me up against the wall. Nobody would be able to subdue me, and nobody would be able to stop me from bringing that blessing and bringing that greatness of God and that light of God into this world and into my life. The bullies are as flawed as the ones that are being bullied. And if all of us would just work on our sense of pride and being, we could see peace and joy and beauty brought into our world. May it happen quickly and speedily in our days. Have a beautiful, amazing Shabbos.